All right. It's a few minutes after 7 p.m. in Minnesota. So welcome everybody who are staying with us for the day. We have an exciting lineup for the evening from Japan, Australia, and Malaysia. And our first set of presenters are from Japan. And I will ask Rico and her colleague to come on the screen so we know they're there. Hi, Rico.
Hi.
Is your colleague there too?
Yeah, I think so. Narusawa-san. Um, yeah, she's here too.
Hi.
Okay, so you have about 20 minutes, and then we will have some questions and answers, and you can introduce yourselves and start.
Okay. Hi, everyone, and good morning, everyone from Asian countries. My name is Reiko Nishida. I'm a junior researcher of the Institute of Comparative Law at Waseda University in Japan. And also, currently, I am in Washington, D.C. as a visiting scholar at the George Washington University. My co-presenter is Kyoko Narusawa. She is working at Yurohin Keikaku as a labor and social security attorney. Narusawa-san, 一言どうぞ。
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Kyoko Narusawa. Nice meeting you. And I'll now explain about Helpful Project.
Thank you. So let's begin. Today, we would like to introduce Ryohin Keikaku's effort to promote disability employment through its Heartful project. Ryohin Keikaku is a Japanese company, and I will provide more details about company's profile. First, we will briefly explain the legal framework in Japan, focusing on the employment quota system. Then we will discuss Ryohin Keikaku's Heartful project, launched in 2009 to increase the number of employees with disabilities within the company. And we will explore and we will explain how the project operates and how employees with disabilities contribute to the company. So in Japan, private companies and public entities are legally required to hire a certain percentage of employees with disabilities. Okay, I will provide a more detailed explanation of Japan's disability employment system in a later session. It is important to know that the quota system requires employers to hire people with disabilities. However, employers have discretion over which department to place them in, what job roles to assign, and how much to pay them based on their employment contract. Of course, all employment contracts are protected under general employment and labor laws. So employees with disabilities must receive at least minimum wage. And furthermore, in Japan, employers cannot dismiss employees at will, as layoffs are strictly regulated. So protections that also apply to employees with disabilities. However, meaningful employment ultimately depends on employers' awareness and proactive efforts. Yeah, but this principle applies not just to disability employment, but to workforce as a whole. Under the quota system, so companies can establish, so under the quota system, companies can establish special subsidiary companies to create a more accommodated work environment for people with severe disabilities. So large companies which must hire hundreds of employees with disabilities often use this special subsidiary scheme to meet their obligations. And in other way, some companies outsource their quota requirements by hiring employees with disabilities through agencies. So these agencies charge service fees to the company for recruitment and management of people with disabilities. And the companies that pay the service fee second their employees with disabilities to the workforce these agencies provide. So the companies just pay the fees, do not hire or assign job to them. So while this approach may seem like a buyout of obligations, it is legally valid as employers have discretion to second them to a different company. And also for some individuals working through these agencies offers still better opportunities compared to shared workshops, sheltered workshop. So unlike that merely meet quota requirements, 良品計画 has taken a proactive approach to disability employment. Therefore, I would like to, and we would like to introduce their efforts to encourage employers to hire people with disabilities. So, 良品計画, you may also know the Muji store, the Muji USA have multiple stores, especially in New York area. So, 良品計画 started in 1989, and the company has Muji brand, Muji stores, running both manufacturing and retail. Today, Muji stores can be found in Japan, more than 600 stores and 682 stores overseas. The illustration on this slide shows old colleagues supporting the one ball, symbolizing 良品計画's core value of happiness, work, goals, and culture. Based on this corporate philosophy, 良品計画 actively hires people with disabilities. Currently, 330 employees with disabilities work at Muji stores in Japan, with a strong focus on hiring individuals with mental health conditions. So these employees with mental illness or mental health conditions make up 76% of 良品計画's workforce with disabilities. While most Japanese companies mainly hire people with physical disabilities or people with intellectual disabilities. So, Narusawa-san.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in 2009, RKCA launched the Heartful Project to expand job opportunities for people with disabilities. This project shifted the company's approach from just following legal hiring requirements to fully integrate employees with disabilities into the workplace. This aligns with the Rohin vision, which emphasizes happiness, work, goals, and culture. Many Japanese companies place employees with disabilities in separate departments or under special supervision. In contrast, RKCL promotes an inclusive approach where employees with and without disabilities work together in Muji stores nationwide. Instead of having specific supervisions for employees with disabilities, all colleagues support each other. Employees with mental health conditions often interact directly with customers and handle customers' complaints. If they face these difficulties, colleagues assist them through an intercom system, ensuring they get the support they need. Next, when the Heartful project started, RKC's head office selected the stores implement this Heartful project. As more stores successfully hired employees with disabilities, the store sales division, rather than the HR division, took the lead in expanding its initiative. Now, store managers' activity replaced to hire PWTs. In some stores, over 20% of staff have disabilities. Hiring discussions are based on a single job interview. The key factors in the hiring process are candidate willingness to work, ability to collaborate, and awareness of their own condition, instead of focusing on past work experience. RKCL looks for people who have a clear idea of what they want to do at Muji and are eager to improve their skills. Next. Starting in 2024, the Heartful Project is introducing new initiatives with employees with disabilities, taking a more active role in shaping an inclusive workplace. A major milestone was the creation of Heartful Collection for troubleshooting, an idea developed by employees with disabilities. This platform allows them to share concerns and support each other by finding solutions together. Muji also publishes Muji Heartful News multiple times a year to highlight the achievements of employees with disabilities. Additionally, online roundtable discussions have been introduced led by a chairperson who has a disability. Participants engage in small group discussions on variety topics. Another new initiative is the project to improve the work level of staff and disabilities. Since some tasks can be challenging due to disabilities, employees with disabilities have created manuals to help their colleagues overcome workplace challenges. Next, creating a supportive work environment requires to preparation before, during, and after hiring employees with disabilities. Before hiring, candidates fill out a written self-introduction. Some stores also use a Heartful information sharing sheet during the first 2 weeks of employment, allowing employees with disabilities to track their daily well-being. During the onboarding period, store managers focus on employees' individual characteristics rather than their disabilities. Work duties, schedules, and interaction styles are tailored to each employee. Work hours and holidays can also be adjusted based on daily performance and well-being. RKCL also emphasizes clear communications about job tasks. Managers and colleagues receive training to create an inclusive workplace where employees with disabilities feel comfortable sharing concerns. Since mental health conditions are not always visible, managers are encouraged to observe carefully and provide support when needed. Managers try to treat employees with disabilities equally as other staff members, while they adapt instruction methods to suit individual needs. Next, it is important to overcome stereotypes such as assuming certain jobs are more suitable for individuals based on their disabilities. As seen in these photos, our employees possess diverse talents. One remarkable example is a female staff who, due to her outstanding hospitality skills, won the Best Customer Service Award among all the store staff in the department store. Notably, the department store evaluating her performance was unaware of her intellectual disability, recognizing her authority for her skills. Next, we introduce our evaluation training and career development system, which mostly applies equally to all store staff. The evaluation process helps employees recognize challenges, set goals, and track progress. Adequate assessments provide constructive feedback, enhance self-esteem, and foster professional growth. Performance evaluations influence hourly wages and annual salaries, increasing motivation and engagement. Training is also a critical component. Employees set personal and professional goals, gaining confidence and strength as they achieve them. Beyond job-related training, we offer opportunities such as volunteering at children's camps. Transfers between stores also serve as development experiences, allowing employees to adapt to different engagement. As part of our career development program, employees with disabilities can apply for annual contract employee positions. While optional, this system provides career advancement opportunities. Many of our employees have diverse aspirations, including careers as artists, cartoonists, and actors, balancing their professional growth at Muji with their personal ambitions. Next, hiring employees with disabilities has driven significant changes and achievements for RKCL. Working, learning, and growing together benefits all employees. Developing clear, easy to understand learning methods benefits not only employees with disabilities but also foreign workers and new hires. Revisiting fundamental business practices fosters awareness, and continuous improvements ultimately strengthens customer service by promoting empathy and cooperation. Next, RKCL aims to cultivate to corporate culture that enable diverse talent to strive, including not only employees with disabilities, but also elderly workers and individuals facing employment barriers, such as those without prior work experience. For example, when hiring Ukrainian executives we leveraged our experience in supporting employees with disabilities to ease their transition, recognizing their initial anxiety. We focused on clear communications and providing a welcoming environment to even ease the absence of a shared language. Next, in conclusion, the Heartful Project has flourished for over 15 years, largely due to the efforts of employees with disabilities who are now valued assets to the company. Support organizations and job coaches have been instrumental, and we have observed that younger staff members hold our fear prejudice against disabilities. The key to successful disability employment is recognizing employees as colleagues, not as individuals defined by their disabilities. Mutual communications and high expectations create an environment where all employees can grow. Simply meeting employment quotas is not enough. We must develop a workplace culture that empowers employees with disabilities to contribute meaningfully and grow through experience. By embracing diversity, supporting one another, and learning together, we can create a truly inclusive workplace culture. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Rico and Kyoko, if I'm saying it right. So we have a few minutes for questions or comments. So one of the things you mentioned that's in place in Japan is the Disability Employment Manual that was actually developed by people with disabilities. Was that specifically for this company, or is that something that is nationwide?
Oh, it's specific to the company.
Okay.
It's manual. Yeah, it's a manual for it. Oh, the people with disabilities. They know what is difficult for them, so they create the manuals so that their colleagues with disabilities can overcome the difficulties.
Okay.
成沢さん、付け加えますか？
Okay.
大丈夫。
Brian probably has a much harder question for you.
Okay.
Not really. One of the things that I was thinking of when you were talking about the quota system that companies have is we've seen in some countries that quota system really do nothing more than result in companies putting people with disabilities, especially more significant disabilities, on their payroll, and then telling them to stay at home, don't come into work. You know, how in Japan have you avoided that happening and, develop programs like the Heartful program, where the focus really is on trying to include people with disabilities in you want to call it the work environment?
So yes, 成沢さん、なんかありますか？今の質問で、クォータシステム、雇用率がある国っていうのは、なんていうんですかね。雇うだけ雇って、仕事を与えないとか、家にいさせるとか、そういったことが、あるんですけど、で日本ではそういうのを、どうやって防いでいるのかっ どうやってそのハートフルプロジェクトみたいなものが、作られているのかっていう質問。
そうですね。そういう会社もまだあると思うけれども、良品計画では、やっぱり一人一人を大事にやっぱり考えている会社のコンセプトがちゃんとハートフルにもつながっているっていうところなので、やっぱり一人一人を尊重するっていうのがすごく大事なことだと思っているので、やっぱり仕事をすることで、すごいやりがいを持ってもらいたいっていうのが会社のコンセプトです。
Okay. Yeah. Some companies in Japan may have such employment culture in they hire people with disabilities, but they don't actually work, or they won't be in the office. But yeah, it happens. I know it happens in the public entities, but in Ryohin Keikaku, Japanese companies have their own complete culture, and especially the Ryohin Keikaku has the culture work together, and so based on the complete culture, they develop this Heartful project. So I, as a legal researcher, it's very hard to for how to force the companies to uh, uh, hire. They actually the quota system requires employers to hire people with disabilities, but actually assign them the meaningful work. But that's why I am presenting this this and encourage employers to provide meaningful work.
And Roger?
Hi, this is Roger Stancliffe from Sydney, Australia. In one of your slides, you mentioned customization of the type of work that people do. I'm wondering, is the customization different for people with different types of disability? For example, do all of the different groups operate with money and accept payments from customers and deal with customers at checkouts and things like that?
Sorry. Can you repeat your question one more time?
Yes,
Sorry.
you mentioned customization of work, so changing
Okay.
the type of work depending on the person's abilities.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering how that customization works for people with different types of disability, people with intellectual disability or psychiatric disability or physical disability. Are there differences in the type of work that they do?
Okay. So staffs working at Ryohin Keikaku at the stores have mainly mental health conditions and mental illnesses. So 成沢さん、大丈夫ですか？答えますか？カスタ
どうぞ、お願い
マイゼーション。
します。
じゃあ、but the store working is in the stores. So there are lots of types of work in the stores. So especially we like to just share the photos. So these are the works that people with disabilities performed. So this is a decoration, and this is the illustration and the advertisement, and this is in the they are explaining they are dealing with kids, and she is she likes to talk with the customers, so she won the award, the best customer service award. So the customers and in the stores, there are customer service, and also just maybe some people with disabilities just put things or line up the products. So the managers just look at the staff with disabilities, and they talk with them what they want to do and customize their work.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we are going to move on. Thank you, Rico and
Okay.
Yoko.